And I think that when the Western developers, especially on PC and then migrated to console, started making these games that were graphically impressive and were selling lots of copies, I think they started to become self-conscious as their market share shrunk, and they were like, we have to do something different. We have to make our games more Western. And what they didn't realize was that was a huge fucking mistake.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to A Conversation with Colin. I'm Greg, and this is my roommate, Colin. Now, sometimes Colin says crazy stuff, so thanks to your support on patreon.com/kindafunny, we're back for a final season of me reaching to the random topic pile, pulling it out, tossing it at his freaking face, and us talking it out for your amusement.
Christ.
One of the scariest people
really
in the business,
scary,
you
dude.
say.
You really are.
If you like that, like the video, share it with your friends, subscribe to us on YouTube, support us on Patreon, go find Kevin. He's somewhere in your city. Colin, are you ready?
In any city?
Any city.
Any city, USA.
For someone, that's correct. Someone is watching, that's correct.
Yeah,
Are you ready?
Yes.
Today's topic of conversation is Square Enix. What went wrong? How would Colin fix it? This is from Alexander Hugin. Hugin.
Oh.
You loved Square Enix.
Oh my God,
loved, period, past tense.
Yeah, loved for sure, yeah.
What happened?
They were a seminal piece of my childhood, my teen years. Yeah, definitely. I don't know what the hell happened. What's funny is that Squaresoft was its own publisher, and they had own independent developers, right? Meanwhile, Enix was making their own internal games, plus they were working with like really mysterious third parties like Quintet and stuff like that to make their games.
Yeah.
And when they combined forces, it seemed as if they
idea.
vanquished each other's only competition and would make amazing games. And the exact opposite ended up happening. like I don't know how that combination of companies could have come together and just shit the bed. But here we are, with Final Fantasy 13.
So take everybody back. That's what I want to do. I want to know what you liked about them, and then for what was the last game that was good from them, and then when everything went wrong. Because I think there's a lot of people who are like, I don't like that Japanese manga stuff.
Right.
I only play the Tony Hawk games.
Right. I think that, there was I haven't really liked Square Enix since they became Square Enix, so it's like there's like very few games.
That was a long time ago.
It was like 2000, 2001 probably. I don't know the exact date. It was not that long ago. I mean, it was the games really that happened before their combination that were really, really awesome. Whether you're talking about ActRaiser and whether you're talking about Final Fantasy 4 and Final Fantasy 6, whether you're talking about there's a Chrono Trigger. There's a ton of different games that were really important. Dragon Quest.
Where's Final Fantasy 7 in that breakdown?
Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9 are fine. I think that those are largely overrated games, but I mean, compared to 4 and 6, I don't think those games stand up at all. I like out of that trilogy, the PS1 trilogy, I like 9 the best.
Okay.
But 7 is fine. 8's whatever. Right? Cool systems in 8.
Sure. Don't forget about 10's underwater soccer.
Oh, Blitzball.
Yeah.
Like, how could you forget?
Ah,
I would never forget that.
I get hung up on the yellow jacket and not understanding what the hell's happening in any of these games.
Oh man, that's something else. But something happened along the way where they just lost sight of. I think that they lost confidence in who they were and what they were doing. I really think that that's like what happened. I think they were looking at the West. Let's rewind and remember that in the NES, SNES era, a lot of the games that we were getting, most of them, a vast majority, it was very rare to get a Western game. Well, a lot of people didn't know that at the time, but you were playing everything you were playing was Japanese.
Sure.
And I think that when the Western developers, especially on PC and then migrated to console, started making these games that were graphically impressive and were selling lots of copies, I think they started to become self-conscious as their market share shrunk, and they were like, we have to do something different. We have to make our games more Western. And what they didn't realize was that was a huge fucking mistake. Like the thing that made Japanese games special was that they made games their own way, and we made games our own way. So when you have a Western RPG like Fallout or the Elder Scrolls, well, that's one thing, but you have Japanese role-playing games to offset them, like Dragon Quest.
Sure.
But now we have, like, Final Fantasy X was bad. That was a bad game. I mean, that was the first Final Fantasy game I bought. I'm like, I can't even play this. I got it. I remember a guy that I worked at the deli on Long Island got it for me on the internet. It was like unbelievable. We bought it at the same time because he got like a discount.
This guy I knew at the deli on Long Island got me the game. I didn't like it too much.
He got like a discount because he bought like 3 of them or something. It was like some weird thing, and so like I paid like $40 for it, and he got it for me. And I remember going home that weekend and being like, "What is this? What is this? Like, why am I playing this game?" And then 12 came out, and it was disappointing. And 12's a really interesting game because it was clearly a game that was made by 2 different people, and it was. I mean, you guys can read about the production of that game and when it just became a totally different game halfway through. And then 13 came, and I lost my mind when I played 13. I was like, I can't believe this is even a thing that exists.
But after 80 hours, the world opens up.
Yeah, exactly. It was really worth the wait. And those characters were awesome. Those were great characters. And meanwhile, even the Enix franchises like Dragon Quest, they released Dragon Quest 7, 8. 7 was before the merger, which is considered like it was a late PS1 game, like considered one of the great PS1 games. Dragon Quest 8, people really loved. Dragon Quest 9 was a 3DS or a DS game. People liked that. It was a traditional RPG. Dragon Quest 10, we're just going to make an MMO now, and we're going to call it Dragon Quest 10. Well, that's going to go over really well, isn't it? That's a brilliant idea. That's what every Dragon Quest fan wanted, was an MMO.
Yeah.
No wonder that game did so well. It's a huge surprise, you know. So what people are really left waiting for is them to go back to what made them great in the first place.
So okay,
now
they've
done it. You know, with Bravely Default, they made a class-based traditional RPG, and they said themselves like, "Oh, we're very surprised by how well this did." What rock have you been living under? You're surprised that this is like what your fans wanted, was a traditional like turn-based, class-based, meaty statistical RPG. That surprised you. Okay.
Okay,
good.
so put the pin in it. We've covered what went wrong. They merged, started trying to be too much like the Western folks.
Right.
How do you fix it? How do you fix it?
I mean, I would have canceled Final Fantasy 15 a long time ago. I mean, now the game is coming and it looks profoundly weird. I mean, I know like people are really excited about that game. That game's weird. I was in Japan before they released that trailer and they showed it to us behind closed doors. And I was like, this is really pretty. What the hell is this game? You know, like that's what I was thinking to myself. You're like, these guys are like in a car driving around. Like, I'm like, this is what you took all these years to make? This is it? You know, like I'm like, all right, that's cool. The ultimate troll moment was at PSX when they were like, they put the Final Fantasy VII logo up, and I was like, oh my god, they're really gonna do it! Like they're gonna announce like in 2017 or something, we're gonna release Final Fantasy VII
remastered,
you know, R or whatever.
Yeah.
And
then
they were like, no, it's the PC port. It was basically them being like, don't ever ask us about this again. Just go away.
Here's your HD version. Shut up.
It's not even an HD version. It looks like it's still in 4.3 and everything. Like it's. And I'm like, that was so awesome. Like I was like, I hope that was calculated just to
So
piss
you cancel 15. Would you then make the remastered version of 7?
Oh yeah, that would be the first thing I would do, is take all the talent there and put them on. That game would sell 10 million copies. Like I don't know like what they don't realize about that, like how well that game would sell. In fact, I would do that with 7, 8, and 9, and put them on, you know, like try to release them like once a year over 3 years in anticipation of a great new fantasy open world Final Fantasy game.
MMO?
You know? No.
Now you had me up until there. That's what I wanted, Colin.
And I would also go back to some of the great franchises that they've abandoned. Where is Final Fantasy Tactics? What happened to that goddamn series? And why is there no, like they're, you know, they like, that's such an awesome game. Tactics Ogre, these like really amazing
Tactics Ogres.
Amazing stuff, you know, not that they would do Tactics Ogre, of course, but these amazing turn-based strategy RPGs, like the things that people want. They don't have to try to do too much. You know, that's the thing that they don't understand. They have these Western publishing arms and these relationships with Western developers that will let them publish those games, like Sleeping Dogs and Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
They don't need to make those games themselves. They need to make the games that their market share cares about. And that's like what they don't realize. It's a very strange situation. And it showed a complete lack of knowledge and understanding when they were surprised by Bravely Default's success. Like that shouldn't have surprised them at all. In fact, they should try to crank out 5 more of those, you know?
Yeah.
Because that's what people, I feel like, really want from them. It's just sad to see Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy, which were amazing franchises, just be what they are right now.
Yeah.
Which is, what is the most relevant RPG franchise in Japan right now? It's neither of those. It's Persona. And the fact
Freedom Wars.
And the fact that Freedom Wars is not an RPG really, but
It's got RPG mechanics.
so does Madden.
Yes, it does.
But like they really let someone else in. Now Persona and Tales are like way more relevant.
Yeah, true.
You know, and it's because those studios give the people what they want.
Yeah.
So that's what I would do, is just to listen to the fan base and give them what they want. But if it was up to me, if I can go in there and be like, this is the game you're making, Final Fantasy Tactics 2, like a real Final Fantasy Tactics game, and I would make it a platform, not a game. Just like I would tell Konami to do it with Castlevania. What you do is you release, or Gran Turismo. What you do is you release the game, a core game, and then you just release maps for years and new quests and side quests and all these kinds of things. In fact, you could even just make Final Fantasy Tactics 2 free, and then just sell all of the content as people want it. They want these maps, they want these quests, these classes. That's exciting to me. You know, like support and nurture something really special like that, and get away from all this garbage you're making. You know, Final Fantasy 13 was. That whole trilogy, I played only the first one, watching, especially the third one.
What about Lightning Strikes or Returns?
It's just like, I don't know, man. It's almost like a joke. Of like this is like.
It's all at Ryan Clemence's expense.
Like this is like what you really wanted. Like this is what you think that people want.
Yeah.
And that's really, really, really sad. So hopefully with Final Fantasy 15, we don't know what it plays like. Hopefully it plays great. I'm excited to play it.
Yeah.
And Kingdom Hearts 3, I mean, it seems like they're getting back to some of the things that made them special. But I would love for them to go and take care of some of those deep cuts too, and some of the other companies that make RPGs too, like Capcom, like where's Breath of Fire? Like,
This was about Square Enix. I think we've covered. Don't go giving Capcom any ideas. That's another, I guess, Game Over Greggy show topic. Because, ladies and gentlemen, it's our final season of A Conversation with Colin. Thank you, Alexander Hugen, for writing in about Square Enix. But, ladies and gentlemen, what do you think of Square? Let us know in the comments. Share this video with your friends. Then make sure you support us on patreon.com/kindafunny. And then keep coming back right here to kindafunny.com to see all of the final season of A Conversation with Colin. Colin, until next time.
I don't know what does that mean? You're receding it. Oh dear.